Hello, I'm Louise Jensen and I'm delighted to be talking to you today about my brand new psychological thriller, The Stolen Sisters. I can't wait to get this book into the hands of readers. I've had such fun writing it, and Leah Marie and Carly Sinclair, they will always stay with me. Now, as a mother, it was a huge dilemma really about whether to write a book about stolen children. I had these three young sisters, Leah, Marie and Carly, pop into my mind, and they stayed there really, stamping their feet, demanding that I tell their story. But I was quite uncomfortable with the concept. So the only way I could write this book was really if we see them being snatched in chapter 1, and then by chapter 2 we know that they've come back as adults and they've survived. This book is quite special to me because, it's no secret that I've had my own issues with mental health. I had a car accident that left me in a wheelchair for several years, and I've suffered that life-changing event that I've never known if I would recover from. And I wanted to explore in this book about trauma really, about how it defines us and how we can move on from it and find some hope. And although this is a thriller and hopefully a heart-pounding, page-turning, unput-downable read, there's also a very emotional aspect to it where we see the sisters live out the next 20 years and how they recover and how they cope with what's happened to them. This book is set in what is RAF Upwood in Cambridgeshire, although I've renamed it RAF Norwood in the book. It's an abandoned RAF base and it's super creepy. They're currently knocking it down to build a housing estate, but I had great fun going around there and being immersed in the history and imagining all the things that had happened there and where I would put the sisters and what really they would experience, why they were locked in this base. I'm going to read a really quick snippet, literally just the first paragraph, just to give you a taster. This is from Carly's point of view. The book covers all sisters' points of view, but we're starting with Carly, who's the oldest. And as the oldest, she's never forgiven herself for letting her and her sisters be taken. So this is when she's 13. When Carly looked back at that day, the memory was in shades of grey. The trauma had sucked the blue from the sky, the green from the freshly mown grass. She had sat on the back doorstep, the coolness of the concrete permeating through her school skirt, the late afternoon sun warming her bare arms. Carly remembers now the blackness of a beetle scurrying down the path before it disappeared into the soil under the rose bush, the stark white of the twin socks bunched below their knees. Inconsequential details that later the police would jot in their notebooks as though Carly was somehow being a great help. But she knew she wasn't, and worse than that, she knew it was entirely her fault. My heart breaks for Carly and in fact for all the sisters, and I hope that you love them as much as I do. So thanks for listening and enjoy The Stolen Sisters.